tell me when it's going.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, my name is Jekot. I wrote a book called Finding the Lost Art of Family Storytelling, a guide for parents, grandparents, and family historians. In it, I have a lot of stories, but I wanted you to see them being performed rather than just reading them. Okay? When I train, teach, invite is really what it is. People to do what they naturally do well, tell stories. A lot of people say, I have no stories to tell. Or I can't tell stories. I'm just terrible. First they say I'm terrible at jokes. Stories and jokes are not the same at all. And I don't believe any of that, but you know, people got to believe themselves. So I tell them this story, especially for parents dealing with their children or grandparents dealing with their grandchildren. I tell them this story. If all that fails, this is what you can do. This is a story that comes from Iceland, as opposed to Greenland. Iceland is the land that's green, and Greenland is the land that looked like ice. There were two brothers. Actually, there weren't two brothers. They were the last two brothers of a family of 7 brothers. And these two brothers, okay, this family had a farm, and like they do, the father carves out so much land for each son and that son's family. Well, by the time they got to the last two, there was no land left. So they didn't know what to do. Then one of the brothers saw an advertisement that said, a king in a far, far land is looking for court musicians. We both play a lot of instruments. Let's do it. All right, and the younger said, oh, I don't know. Said, why not? The younger brother just fall in love. And you know what it's like to fall in love. You can barely breathe if you're separated from that person. But the older brother said, you know what you've got to do. So they went all the way to the king court, and they showed up for the auditions. Okay? And this younger brother was still moping and moping. And the older brother put a horn in his hand. He said, I want you to play this horn before the court, and I want you to think about how much you love your girl. Okay? He picks up that horn. Well, the court was so excited they'd never heard anything like that. Then he picked up a ukulele and he thought about those soft nights when he was going to canoe down the river with his true love. I screwed that up. And then he picked up a violin and just closed his eyes and thought about how he was going to lullaby his children to sleep. And the king were so excited, the king stood up and said, that's it. I have the only musician I need. All the other musicians can go home. You're my musician. And the older brother was so excited for his brother. And the other brother said, oh no, I want to go see my girl. He said, I will tell you your girl. And the younger brother said, please tell her. Please tell her that I will send for her as soon as I have enough money. And the older brother said, I will. Well, the older brother went home and he realized why his younger brother was so much in love with that girl. Because he fell in love with her. And just as the younger brother got enough money to bring his girl back, message came that his older brother had married her. Well, he was devastated. And he went into the court to play those instruments that night, and everyone held their ears, and the king looked at him. He said, my great musician, what's the matter? I don't know. He said, well, look, you have a problem. All problems are logical problems. My left ear is connected to my brain. I see or listen to the problem, it bounces along my brain, and I come up with a solution. It's plain to see I don't pay you enough. I have a wonderful cabin to the east of my land. It's yours. The kids, I don't know. And all the court, he refused a gift from the king. He said, son, look, you have a problem. Problems are simple things. Problems are logical things. You tell me your problem, it goes through my left ear is connected to my brain, I come up with a solution. I also have a stable, and I will fill that stable with horses. And then all the court was like, 2 gifts from the king? He's gonna die in that dungeon. King stood up, kicked all the court out. It was just him and the boy. He said, son, all right, I'm the king of this land. Do you know why I'm the king of this land? Certainly not my good looks. I'm the king of this land because I'm the only person in this land that knows he has 2 ears. One ear is separated. The left ear goes to the brain, but the right ear goes straight to the heart. He turns and he said, tell me your story. And the kid just cries and cries and cries. And he comes back day after day and he starts playing, but he cries. But then he cries less and plays more. And before you know it, everything's fine. 20 years go by. He's been the court musician the whole time. He had a wonderful maiden he met in the kingdom. They got married. They had a son. One day, the boy was tiptoeing through the tulips with his young love, all right? And the next day, he came all the way up the hilltop with his head down. The musician was on his porch playing his instruments. He said, son, what's the matter? He said, I don't know. He said, son, you have a problem. Problems are logical things. You tell me the problem, it goes into my left ear, bounces amongst my brain. I come up with the solution. Son, it's plain to see that you need something new. I have a brand new instrument, it's yours. I don't know. Son, you have a problem. Problems are logical things. Tell me what it is. It goes into my ears, bounces amongst my brain. Son, I have a new horse. It's plain to see you need more transportation. I don't know. And then he said, son, I'm the only musician in the king's court. Do you want to know why I'm the only musician in the king's court? Certainly not my looks. I'm the only musician in the king's court because I'm the only musician who knows he's got 2 ears. One ear is connected, the left to the brain, and the right ear is connected to the heart. Son, tell me your story. So the fact of the matter is, if you have no stories to tell, just invite someone else to live. Just invite someone else to